Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts here, and it's the Gaming Saloon Reviews for February 17th, 2024, which I host Space Breaker 2448 and wrapping up Salon.
Hi. Yeah, I'm really liking this a lot better. It's easier, plus you know exactly when.
We have hit the final form.
Yay.
Also, we have hit the last time we will ever see Elemental Dragon in the show.
Not as much yay.
I saw that and I'm like, wait, we never get Elemental Dragon ever again? I know we get Primitive Dragon one more time. For some reason.
That seems weird.
It's in like the second to last episode. In a moment that I'm like, why is this not Dragonic Knights moment? Why is this Primitive Dragon? I'm incredibly annoyed by this for no good reason. Yeah, it's 37 through 40. Yeah. Any thoughts before we hit these?
Outside of the fact of the additional books for Cross Saber feel pointless? No.
We'll get to that. There's a lot to say about that. But I guess we will kick things off with episode 37, Change the Future. Who? So, this is, I'm reading this and I'm like, right. It's so dumb. I hate that this is how we have to start because the siblings have decided that they do not want to work with the team because they are traitors to the guild. What? What do you mean, traitors to the guild? They're not the one trying to blow up the world today. I don't understand. Help.
I feel like you're just not supposed to understand. And that they're supposed to just have some kind of an excuse so that they don't join.
For exactly like an episode?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So stupid. But yeah, they don't want to join up because they view everyone else as traitors because I don't know. They stole Durandal's lunch or something. It's fucking I don't care at this point. Sophia tries to talk to Kento. It doesn't work because the Kento doesn't want to listen to anybody. But the bird friend of Castles follows him. The bird friend will be important later. Also, Falchion is back and he's working for Master Logos again because he needs a minion to like stall for an episode, I guess. So here's Falchion. Except I just realized Falchion does nothing this episode. Everything he does is in the next episode. And it's exactly one fight.
No, he does something in this episode. He gets to be random Z-plot that they decided to put in there.
That goes nowhere.
Exactly.
But yeah, Toma's off to go find Kento because Toma thinks he can talk to Kento again. Because, I don't know, 7th tries the charm on this one. There's Ren and his ass stuff that I have tuned out of because I do not care about either of these characters.
Same.
I am sorry. I'm like, look at these two stand around in an empty set, just the two of them, and talk nonsense. I don't care. We have more important shit than the two of you fucking around doing nothing Nothing.
I feel like there could have been something there. The problem is we have to use most of our screen time showing Toma talking needlessly to other characters when he knows that he's not going to change their opinion yet.
Yeah. But then Ren storms off, and then he intercepts Toma going to Kento, and he's like, "Fight me, so I know what true strength is." And then they fight, and then Ren's like, "I'm upset about this. I'm leaving." Speaking of that Z plot from earlier, Yuri has recruited Mei to try to convince Valshian that humanity are good and you should not try to murder us all. It does not work. I don't know what they thought was going. What did Yuri think was going to work about this?
Okay, that would entail Yuri thinking.
Fair.
He hasn't this entire show, so why should he now?
True. Very true. Anyway, the Rentro is the one that talks to Kento, but then Master Logo shows up, and then I love that Kento gives Rentro the lightest stomach punch I've ever fucking seen in a show like this. It's like, I need to knock you out so I can go fight Master Logos myself, and it lasts all of 0.5 seconds. Like, Kento, put a little bit more oomph in that punch. Also, are you sure about this? I'm pretty sure you can't solo him. But now the two of them are fighting Master Logos, and then Toma shows up, and then there's more fighting and stuff. And then Master Logos turns on the big book that's in the air over this part of the city, and it starts destroying the city. And then Kento's like, all right, fuck this sacrifice play, and tries to drag Master Logos into the void. That I guess he got put in. I assume. I assume that's what he's doing.
I think it's some kind of supposed to be like a ceiling concept, kind of like he did with with the swords that didn't matter after, you know, book was made.
Yep, after Master Logos got his book to become a writer. But yeah, Toma's like, no, you're not going to sacrifice yourself to do this, and stops it. And then Master Logos rightfully points out, it's like, oh, hey, cool, you saved your friend. By the way, you also saved me. Die now. And then Yuri shows up, takes Kiriyami, uses his sword and that sword to create a black hole to suck Master Logos into, but that's only going to temporarily work. I'm sorry, what? You can make a black hole with two swords. And that doesn't stop our main villain. How? It doesn't even stall him that long. Because he just rips his way back into reality like 5 seconds later, just elsewhere. Also, that's the entire episode.
If you think not a lot happened in it, you're right.
How did so little happen in 22 minutes?
A lot of people are asking that.
Especially when even less happens next episode, with episode 38, Uniting the Seiken, the Galaxy Sword. So Toma tries to go talk to Kento again for the 9th, 10th, fucking whatever time. Renan stuff happens. The team is now fighting Master Logos to stall him because they need Toma to show up and save the day, because it's... Why do both of these shows have this problem of, like, it has to be the main character? We have to wait until the main character gets to show up and do things. There's not even a plan for Toma to do a thing. It's just, it has to be Toma. Like, what is the plan? What is Toma going to do? Because I'm pretty sure nobody has a plan going into this fight, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I had to make sure because I'm like, nobody has a plan. What do you all expect Toma to do to show when he shows up? Fucking punch the main bad guy? We know that doesn't work. Anyway, Toma goes talk to Kento and he's like, look, help us this time or don't. Here's your old sword. I have to go save the day. Bye. And then his ghost stat and then Kento's ghost stat shows up in the form of the bird because Tassel saved him and he's been the bird the whole time. And he's like, sorry, son, I kind of fucked up, but I did it to protect you and the world and stuff. And that was wrong. And you should try to do the right thing, which is to go fight with your friends. I love that we've, I guess, redeemed the inciting incident villain. Does he count as a villain?
I wouldn't consider it in the show, truthfully.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I guess you got tricked and then you did a bad thing and then like we're all okay with that, I guess. Anyway, lost my train of thought. The siblings show up. Also, Rin shows up at some point. I just forgot when he showed up. I just noticed he was there when he got knocked down. I was like, oh, hey, Rin's here. Cool. Also, Isaac's active on the bag. We're doing good. We're talking Kamen Rider Saber. But yeah, the siblings show up and Rin show up and they're trying to help and no one's doing anything and Master Logos is too strong and everybody gets knocked down. And then Toma shows up. And before Toma can fight the main villain, Falchion's like, you have to duel me. So Toma and Falchion duel on the side while everyone else is fighting Master Logos. Great. Thankfully, Toma kills Falchion and gets his sword. Hooray. And by this point, Kento shows up with his old sword and words. And the Kuriyami that he hands to his ghost dad, who just shows up next to everybody. And I love how everyone's just cool with him being there. Like, are we gonna ignore the fact that he's the reason everything happened? Are we just okay with him being here?
I mean, probably, yeah.
Is it better than the previous Saber showing up and then just being like, hi, I'm here to help ish? I say ish because here's what everyone does now that they have all joined up. They all throw their swords into the sky and it forms the Yggdrasil tree. And then that makes the cross saber, which is Saber's final form, aka his big fancy sword. And then Toma transforms in the cross saber, which is this blue and white galaxy, like Starry Night repaint of Brave Dragon. And his transformation is longer than Grand Geo's. Legit, it is longer than Grand Geo's transformation. So how do you feel about Cross Saber in this fight where he just more or less summons a bunch of swords, copies of like the other swords and stuff, and blows up a bunch of repainted King Arthur robos and then sends Master Logos packing?
I feel like I almost feel like the debut was kind of meh. It almost felt like they wanted to lean too hard with the CGI, so we had to have dark background to, you know,
cover it up a little bit.
Yeah, and hide. Because it feels like the suit's fine. It feels like the transformation is the thing.
I like how Cross Saber fights because it's like, hey, Toma is taking everything he has learned and all of these stuff, all these lessons and techniques he's learned from all the other riders, and he's using them by literally using copies of their swords to fight. Cool. I like that. I don't like that it's a repaint of Brave Dragon. I wish it was more than just a repaint of Brave Dragon.
See,
Anything but a repaint.
I don't mind that it's a repaint. It's more, I mind that the rest of the changes they tried to do with it just don't really do anything with it. Let's just make one base form and be done with it.
Yeah, because to talk about it now, in the next episode, we're going to get Crimson Saber, which is Toma using his Crimson Dragon combo, his 3 red books, with the Cross Saber. And essentially it is his Crimson Dragon suit in the same paint scheme. And then in the following episode, he does featuring Saber, or he goes featuring Saber, which is Brave Dragon, Lion Senki, and Golden Alangina, but in this paint scheme. And there feels like there's no real difference in these at all. They all do the exact same things. So they're all pointless. Which brings me to the toy things, which are, here's some fun, dumb things about the toys. So there's a 4th one of these. It is called Hybrid Saber. Would you care to guess what books it uses?
What?
Brave Dragon and King Arthur. You know, that very important book from like early in the series?
That didn't matter literally a couple of episodes after it debuted.
Yep, that one. But technically, any 2 books count as Hybrid Saber. Because the sword doesn't really read the books. So, for example, any 3-book combo, so like Blades' 3-book combo, would read as Crimson Saber and Cross Saber. The same with Espada's 3-book combo. I forgot his name. I'm like, what the fuck is his writer name?
Well, I mean, we've truthfully not seen him as Espada for how long?
Like half the show at this point. But yeah, those count as Crimson Saber. I don't think there is any way to get featuring Saber besides those 3 specific books. Granted, I think it's dumb that it's featuring Saber, and then the 2-book one is Hybrid Saber, when those names should be reversed. This weird combo of 3 books should be Hybrid Saber, and then the 2-book ones should be featuring Saber. Because I assume it's supposed to properly be Brave Dragon plus some other book. I don't know. That naming scheme works better in my head.
I feel like you're right on that, actually.
Mm-hmm. Also, there is a Kamen Rider sound in there, but it's just, hey, it was the anniversary, and you can have Rider books, and then you scan them, and you get a fancy sound for the 3 eras. But yeah, I like Crimson, I like Cross Saber's fight, but the suit just bugs me to no end.
Yeah, I don't know. The suit itself, by itself, doesn't really bother me. It's the fact that we're trying to do form changes and said form changes do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I can kind of see the other parts on it, but they're all one color, and it blends way too easy.
Yep. And it feels like powers-wise, it does nothing.
Well, that, and coupled with the fact of, you know, using each of our 3 writers' books in base form kind of actually meant something. It kind of showed that unity between the 3 of them. This just feels like he grabbed a couple of random books and slapped it in and said, okay, I'm more powerful.
Yeah. I can fly now. And I'm like, you were flying before you used these books. You do not need these books to fly.
As far as a final form suit, though, I mean, I feel like that would be acceptable, at least.
Yeah.
Is it necessarily good? No, but it's acceptable for what a final form should look like, kind of deal.
Yeah. I think I remember tweeting at someone who mentioned something at this when it first aired of like, somebody looked at 02 and took the wrong lessons from it. Because
I don't even think that. I really don't even think that. This kind of and it's pretty blatant. This is one of the few times that the apparent connection between this and Ghost exists, but it kind of follows more of a pattern of like that.
Oh god, yeah, it does feel like Mugen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think the only difference is that if you're wondering why it's just a repaint of the base suit, it's because the suit is hand painted. This paint job is hand painted. So I assume that's where all the budget went. Is that in the helmet?
Well, and the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, the final form I don't hate. Is it one of the best? No. Because I feel like the over-the-top flashiness just really doesn't feel like that should be the thing to work for final forms, even though more often than not that seems to be where it goes.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I don't know, I guess it's partly because of the fact of I do kind of like the 02 suit because it does feel like it's an actual upgrade. I like Double Extreme because it feels like it's an actual upgrade.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, I kind of lean towards stuff like that actually takes the inspiration from the base suit but says, okay, this is the base suit but better.
Mm-hmm.
This just says, this is the base suit that we threw paint all over.
Yeah. And I can also understand it like mechanically within the show of Toma is still using the sword driver. It is still, sword and sword driver. So it still should be like something akin to his regular suit. But I feel like it shouldn't be the exact same thing.
Okay. But here's the argument I can have with that. Why did Cross Saber have to be a new sword? Why couldn't it have been another book?
True.
Elemental Dragon does not look like the base suit, even though it shares colors.
Mm-hmm.
The helmet is the thing that stands out. That actually feels like an upgrade. Dragonic Knight, same kind of deal.
Yeah.
Why did this have to be a sword is what I don't get. They could have done it as a book, it would have still worked with the driver, and they could have had something that actually would have felt like a, not really slapping this in the face, but an actual final form.
Mm-hmm. It still feels weird that in the series, with, swords and books as like the big thing, our final form book is not like Knights of the Round Table. And somehow Arthur is a throwaway power-up.
Yeah. See, I feel like that could have been that actually should have been the way that it should have went. The Arthur book shouldn't have been where it was. It should have been what the final form was.
Yeah.
It should have been on par with, like, Primitive Dragon, a book that requires another one inside of it. That way, then you could still have that whole concept of it's an improvement of the base suit.
Mm-hmm.
They really kind of blew it on the final form kind of deal.
Yeah. Like, it should be something like the Dragonic Knight book, where it has like the parts that slide out, but the mural that ends up sliding out is the mural with all of our swordsmen. Because there's actually a book. They repainted Dragonic Knight toy-wise for another book. And it's Superhero Senki, and it does that exact thing, except it's all the main writers and then all the Sentai Reds. And I'm like, how did you get this idea for Superhero Senki? But you decided, nope, no round table, no, here's all the knights. For as many times as you've done that. Also, you've technically done the Three Musketeers thing, since you do our trio here are technically the Three Musketeers, and I guess May's the fourth Musketeer. Kind of. Anyway, I guess any other thoughts on those two episodes and Cross Saber in general?
No.
Okay. All right, back end of things. Episode 39. Hey, swordsman, follow the path you believe in. Tassel's back.
Yay.
Anyway, a new page showed up in the book to show like the birth of Cross Saber, but Luna's not here because she's busy running around in Wonder World and being lost, I guess. She's not in the void anymore. Also, Falchion's sword disappeared because, and again, things I don't understand. So Falchion's sword is technically at the center of the Yggdrasil tree when they form the Cross Saber, correct?
I did not pay that close attention, so I don't know.
Okay, it was an Instagram post I read back when the show was airing that explained all the positions of the swords on the Yggdrasil tree, and technically Falchion's sword is at the center, because it is the Void Sword, and it's the one that all the powers are flowing into, and it just makes me go, wait, why didn't it turn into Cross Saber? Why didn't the Falchion sword literally get transformed into Cross Saber? Why does it still exist, and why did Disaster go and steal it? While nobody was looking. Because, by the way, Disaster stole it. I believe we see him pilfer it at the end of the second episode.
We see a arm of some kind, but we don't know what kind of deal.
Okay, spoilers. This is Disaster. I'm just going to tell you.
I mean, of course, of course, it's our troll.
But anyway, Disaster stole it, and now he has Falchion's sword for reasons we'll get to later that feel entirely pointless.
And probably are.
Yeah. Anyway, Tomo goes and picks up Kento with a bit involving Momotaros and stuff. Kento does give the Kyomu to Yuri, so Yuri now has both the light and the dark sword, so he can just pop black holes whenever he wants and solve all our problems. Too bad that's never going to work. The siblings head to the Southern base to steal all the regular books back, and they do, except Durando gets injured. Good job. You did exactly as much as you're worth, which is to tank hits, so your sister can do all the work.
Yeah. Which I feel like is a recurring theme.
It's almost like one of them is entirely pointless and the other one is a better character. Anyway, Durandel's injured, and so Yuri has to heal him, which Yuri's in his sword form for like half this episode because he's drained from healing everybody else from the fight. Because apparently they got really injured in the fight at some point. They seemed fine after, Toma got Cross Saber, but I guess they're injured. So Toma and Rento go confront Master Logos, and Master Logos I think gives us his entire reason he's a bad guy, which is essentially, I'm bored. I want to blow up the world and recreate it in my own image.
He is textbook villain.
He is basic villain.
I was good guy. I got bored. I am bad guy.
Yep. No other real reason, just I'm bored now, want to blow up the world. All right, sure. So anyway, Toma's going to be fighting Master Logos for like the back end of this episode. Storius is also here, showing that he's been working with Master Logos the whole time, and he summons one of the big Chimera chompy guys to fight Rentro, and Rentro kills it. And then Toma fights Master Logos. He goes Crimson Saber, blows him up, and then Storius whisks Master Logos away because we need him for one more episode, which is our last episode of this bunch, episode 40, Shining Friendship, the Three Swordsmen. Tassel's here once more doing his recaps and stuff. Skip. The show was better when you were not doing these recaps. Bye, Tassel. I'm sorry, bye. Anyway, he's gonna go look for Luna in Wonderworld. So Master Logos plans to get Luna to complete the book, and he's going to do that by using his new power of puppeteering the writers to make them fight other people. And by writers, I mean 4 of them. In order for him to get Luna to complete his book. And so for this entire episode, Reika is busy not trying to kill her brother because her brother is trying to kill her because he got whammied. And then Toma, Rentaro, and Kento try to go after Master Logos with Yuri. Yuri gets whammied, so Master Logos has like the light and dark sword for a bit until Toma gets them away from him. And then he whammies Rentaro and Kento. And then Toma stops that with his sword. They protect Luna, and Tassel gets Luna. And then eventually, the power of friendship summons Lion Sinki and Golden Alangina from Rentaro and Kento and de-transforms them.
Even though one of them should still be fine.
Even though Rentaro is in Tatagami, is still wearing his driver with Tatagami in it, still untransformed.
Yep.
I guess they feel bad because Kento has to untransform. Technically. I mean, he doesn't... I'm trying to think if they actually could pull that off. Because, like, technically he could still be transformed with his other 2 books. That is a form.
Debatable, though?
It is recognized in the driver as a form.
But the driver is also going to recognize it just in general, though. That's why I'm like, debatable?
I don't know. The simulator, the official simulator for Saber, showed what that form would actually look like and shows that it works. So technically, I don't know if I have a picture of it. Granted, we only ever saw it as concept art. Maybe not. I was hoping the writer wiki would have it. I guess not. Shame. All they have is Lamptosaurus. Anyway, the 2 of them are untransformed while Toma is in his new featuring Saber form. And then he beats up Master Logos and blows him up, and he gets set on fire, and the book gets destroyed. And Master Logos proceeds to, I guess, escape to go sulk in a corner for Astorius to show up and be like, that book that reforms on him because it can.
Because of course it can.
He just takes the book and goes, I'm main villain now. Poke, you're dead. And then walks out in new clothes and really raspy, basic villain voice going, I'm now the main villain of the show. Also, once more, Maid does the whole like, hey, I'm part of the team too, with a stick, as the other three like cross their swords, Three Musketeers style, which made me realize, why has she not got a wood sword?
Fair.
Because some part of my head I was always like, they could just make up an ice sword and give it to her because, she's, got that relationship with Rintaro. It could work, but then I'm like, wait a minute, hasn't both times she's done it with a stick? So why is she not the wood swordsman? And also, she's Toma's publisher, meaning she works with paper stuff all the time. Paper is what it. As soon as I realized that, I'm like, that makes way more sense in my head. But anyway, Astorius is now our main villain. He will not become Solomon. He will become something else. Just to throw it out there. I don't know how long it will take, though. So how do you feel about our back half?
Kind of on the anticlimactic side.
Yeah. Master Logos lost 3 times in a row, and now he's dead, and we have moved on. To the show's credit, that's better than some other villains.
Yeah, looking at you, Vault.
Looking at you, Kronos. Does Thouser count in this? I feel like Thouser counts in this as well.
That, I don't know. Thouser might be that questionable one.
He's in the middle of the show, probably. He's in the middle of the show, so it doesn't really count, I think.
And I don't think he was ever intended to be final villain. Like, if he was, then I'd be surprised, but I doubt it.
In my head, in an alternate take on 01 that did not have to worry about the pandemic, he is, but he essentially becomes Arc 1. As a fuck you, Aruto, I'm going to destroy your dreams by being a better you.
I don't know if it would be that. I don't know if we would get the attempt at the redemption that they did in the show if things had played different. But I don't think it would have been a willing for him to be Arc 1. I think it would have more been a forced upon kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because I want to think that a lot of the beats that they had with the show probably still shone through, regardless of how they had to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
But certain things had to have been tweaked. So if I'm working off of that assumption, then that attempt at a redemption for him was intended the entire time.
Yeah,
it's just how that was coming.
I'm just married to the dumb idea in my head of, guy, does this whole redemption thing and tries his best and stuff. And, oh no, it's all fake because fuck you. I was after the Arc Driver the whole time and I wanted it to make Arc 1 and then frame Aruto for all the shit I do. And, oh no, you found out. Oh, too bad. None of you can stop me anyway. That's the idea in my head. I'm a little too married to it.
I can say it.
yeah, Saber is fine. Somehow we only have 2 weeks left of this. It does not feel like we have 2 weeks left of this.
Yeah.
And it's not just, 4 episodes and 5 episodes as it happens with writers sometimes. No. 2 weeks even. It is 4 episodes apiece. Technically, it's less than that because the last episode practically has nothing to do with Saber. Because it's essentially a backdoor, hey, here's Revy and Vice episode. Kind of. It's a weird, dumb episode that nobody likes. That gave everybody a really bad impression of what Revice was going to be. I guess any other thoughts?
No. Discord's being weird. No.
Okay. So tomorrow, it's the Mario Brothers with the level completion race. We will see how good we are at Original Martin. Well, Original Super Martin, let me clarify, because there is a difference. There is a Original Martin that is not Super Mario Brothers. Next Thursday, I am wrapping up Ghost Trick. Next Friday, it is Celeste Co-op, which we'll have to set up, make sure is running. And next Saturday will be TGS, where we get to talk about a Nintendo partner presentation, maybe, and the Xbox podcast that could have been an email. And I got nothing else. It's been a very slow time. It's like February. It's gaming news is slow. Anywho, if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away at Philico at Jesus on Twitter and at TGS Network on Mastodon.social. We'll give you information. We'll be live. And exclamation point Discord Jack is his link. Drop by, say hi, and we'll see you tomorrow, folks.